Nobody's paying attention. You walk into a room and instantly assume everyone just noticed you. Your shirt, your posture, that weird thing your hair is doing that feels illegal in at least 3 countries. Your brain immediately goes, great, this is my trial. The jury is silent, but judgmental. Here's the brutally honest truth. Almost nobody is paying attention to you. Not because you're boring, not because you don't matter, but because everyone else is trapped in their own head, starring in their own low-budget psychological drama. While you're worried about how you sounded in that meeting, someone else is replaying a sentence they said in 2016. While you think people noticed you stumble over a word, they're thinking about lunch. Psychologists call this the spotlight effect, which is just a fancy way of saying your brain thinks it's the main character in a movie that no one else bought tickets for. Evolutionarily, this made sense. If the tribe noticed you messing up, you might get kicked out or eaten or both, so your brain stayed hyper-alert. Congratulations, you inherited that feature in an era where the biggest danger is sending a slightly awkward text. Once you internalize this, life changes. You stop over-editing yourself. You say the thing. You wear the thing. You try the thing. Because the fear holding you back was based on an audience that doesn't exist. Basically, freedom begins the moment you realize everyone else is too busy overthinking themselves to overthink you. Number 5. Confidence comes after action. You've probably been waiting to feel ready, to feel confident. Bad news. That feeling isn't coming first. Your brain does not hand out confidence as a starter pack. Confidence is a receipt. It shows up after you act, not before. Waiting to feel confident before you start is like waiting to get strong before you lift weights. Your muscles are like, no. What people call natural confidence is usually just familiarity wearing a cool jacket. The person who looks calm giving a presentation, they've survived enough presentations to know the ceiling won't collapse. The person who seems fearless starting conversations, they've already lived through the awkward ones and didn't die. Neurologically, your brain hates uncertainty more than failure. Action reduces uncertainty. Every time you do something scary and live through it, your nervous system updates its files. Oh, we didn't explode. Interesting. And that's how confidence sneaks in, pretending it was there all along. The unfair advantage here is realizing you're allowed to be shaky and still move forward. You don't need motivation. You don't need permission. You need motion. Basically, confidence isn't a personality trait. It's a side effect of not running away. Number 4. Being liked is not the same as being respected. Somewhere along the way, you were sold a very comforting lie. If people like you, things will go well. Doors will open. Opportunities will appear. Life will gently pat you on the head and say, "Good job, pleasant human." In reality, being liked and being respected are 2 completely different currencies, and they are often accepted at different stores. Being liked usually comes from making people comfortable. You agree, you soften your edges, you laugh at jokes that aren't funny, you say it's fine when it absolutely is not fine. Your brain tells you this is social survival. Don't rock the boat, don't make waves. Be agreeable, be smooth, be forgettable. Respect, on the other hand, comes from boundaries, from consistency, from doing what you said you'd do, even when it's inconvenient, from saying no without a PowerPoint presentation attached. And yes, sometimes respect makes people uncomfortable because it reminds them you're not a background character in their story. Psychologically, humans are weird. We don't value what bends too easily. Your brain is wired to take predictable, accommodating behavior and file it under safe, but optional. Respect activates a different system. It signals competence, self-trust, and internal rules. Even if people don't like those rules, they usually acknowledge them. The unfair advantage is realizing you don't need universal approval. You need credibility. You need a spine. You need to tolerate the mild emotional discomfort of not being everyone's favorite flavor of human. Basically, being liked feels good in the moment. Being respected pays rent. Number 3. Your brain is not on your side. You probably trust your thoughts. After all, they sound like you. Same voice, same accent, same confidence. Unfortunately, your brain is less of a wise mentor and more of a paranoid intern with Wi-Fi access. Your mind's primary job is not happiness, success, or fulfillment. Its job is survival. And survival software is ancient, dramatic, and extremely suspicious of change. That's why your brain panics over things that aren't actually dangerous, like embarrassment, rejection, or trying something new, and treats them like saber-toothed tigers with opinions. From a neurological standpoint, negative thoughts stick harder than positive ones because they kept your ancestors alive. Missing one threat was worse than missing 10 compliments. So now, one awkward moment outweighs 100 neutral ones. Your brain calls this useful information. You call it overthinking at 3 a.m. The unfair advantage is learning to treat your thoughts as suggestions, not commands. Just because your brain says, "This will go terribly," doesn't mean it ran the math. It ran a vibe check based on fear and caffeine levels. You don't need to silence your inner voice. You need to stop assuming it's always correct. Basically, your brain is a helpful tool, but it absolutely should not be in charge of the steering wheel. Number 2. Discomfort is the price of growth. Most people don't avoid success because they're lazy. They avoid it because growth feels bad. Not morally bad, physically bad. Sweaty palms, tight chest, brain screaming, "We are in danger even though nothing is happening." Your nervous system is built to keep things familiar, not optimal. Familiar equals safe. Safe equals alive. So when you try to change new habits, new boundaries, new goals, your body reacts like you're uninstalling gravity. This is why scrolling feels easy and progress feels heavy. Here's the brutal part. Discomfort isn't a sign you're doing something wrong. It's a sign you're leaving old wiring behind. Neuroscience calls this neuroplasticity. Your brain is literally rewiring itself, and rewiring feels like static in your soul. The unfair advantage is learning to stop interpreting discomfort as danger. Instead of asking, "How do I make this stop?" you ask, "How long can I stay here without quitting?" That one mental shift separates people who change from people who talk about changing. This doesn't mean suffering for no reason. It means recognizing that the absence of discomfort usually means you're repeating yesterday. Comfort is maintenance mode. Discomfort is update mode. Basically, if it feels awkward, heavy, or unsettling but aligned, you're probably paying the correct price. Number 1. No one is coming to save you. This is the least comforting truth and the most powerful one. At some point, you realize there isn't a perfect moment coming. No signal. No official invitation. No authority figure showing up with a clipboard saying, "Okay, you're ready now." Everyone you admire figured things out while being wildly unqualified and deeply uncertain. They didn't wait for clarity. They moved, adjusted, failed, learned, and pretended it was intentional. Psychologically, this is called locus of control. People with an external locus wait for circumstances to change. People with an internal locus decide what they can control and act there. One group feels stuck. The other feels responsible, and responsibility, while terrifying, is incredibly empowering. The unfair advantage is realizing that rescue fantasies are just fear wearing a hopeful disguise. The moment you stop waiting for permission is the moment your options multiply. You don't need to become someone else. You don't need to fix everything at once. You need to choose one small, uncomfortable, honest action and own it. Basically, the hero of your life story is already on screen. They're just waiting for you to stop watching and start directing. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.